Now you can see the board properly. Can you see the board properly and check the audio connectivity? Check the audio connectivity and can you see the board? Okay. Okay, thank you. Now you know that we are discussing the chapter that is hydrogen. Okay. Now last day I hope I have discussed about the hydrogen, its occurrence, next position, and what was the last day's discussion? Isotope of hydrogen was already discussed, preparation of hydrogen, preparation of hydrogen, preparation of hydrogen, preparation of hydrogen was already discussed. Now I have told you that there are some very important preparation out of this. The preparation, that is laboratory preparation, I have told you that laboratory preparation is that the using zinc granule and dilute sulfuric acid and in the Wolf tube. Wolf tube is the name of the instrument, it is the laboratory preparation. And the second question is that how we can prepare the purest hydrogen, and there is the process, that is electrolysis is used on the barium hydroxide. Okay. Now you should remember these all. Next I have discussed about the properties of dihydrogen. Okay. And last day I have discussed about the physical properties of dihydrogen, and around the physical properties there are the high ionization potential of hydrogen. Okay. Now what are ortho and para hydrogen? These are the allotropes of hydrogen. For example, the graphite, the diamond and the carbon are the allotropes. In the same way, hydrogen also having allotropes, that is ortho and para hydrogen. I have told you, when the spin is anti-clockwise in both the nucleus, when spin is clockwise in both the nucleus, then it is called the ortho form, and when it is opposite to each another, then it is called para form. In normal temperature, the ortho form is more stable, but if we decrease the temperature to around 40 Kelvin, that is in minus centigrade, then the para form will be more stable. So in higher temperature or in moderate temperature, the ortho form is more stable, and in low temperature, that is very low temperature, the para form is more stable. Now have I discussed the chemical properties of hydrogen? Chemical properties, can you say me? Chemical properties also discussed. Now in chemical properties, what is the reducing property of hydrogen? That means which is used in the metallurgy. What is metallurgy? That means extraction of metal from different ore is called the metallurgy, and as you know that here the ores are found in the form of oxide, sulphide, etc., and carbonates maybe. Okay. Now the oxides and sulphides ore have to be converted to ore, and there is the process. Now the oxides ore can be converted by reducing it by using hydrogen. Here as we are discussing on the hydrogen, so hydrogen can be used as a reducing agent. For example, the reduction of cobalt oxide, nickel oxide, here we should use the hydrogen. Okay. Now occlusion of hydrogen was already done, and what is hydrogen economy? That means as the heat value is more, that is it is in gram, it is equal to 143 kilojoule, and it is lightest. So as it is lightest and the heat value is maximum, so it is an alternate option for the fuel in the industry also and also for the aviation, that means for the aircraft and etc. Okay. So, hydrogen should be the alternate of the biofuels, that means petrol, diesel, and they are decreasing day by day. Hydrogen is maybe one option for that. Okay. And hydrogen, it can be produced by the electrolysis, then the byproduct, it is not at all harmful to the environment. Byproduct is not at all harmful to the environment, and later on we can be converted the byproducts to again to the water. Okay. So, this is the hydrogen economy, and why, what is the advantage of using hydrogen as a fuel. So, hydrogen may be used as an alternate fuel in case of biofuels. And what is hydrogen economy? Hydrogen economy is that the one country consume the hydrogen, or what is the production of hydrogen by a country is called the hydrogen economy, because as it is the source of energy and how much energy is consumed, it is sometimes called the hydrogen economy. In the same way, there is the economy that is I have told you, that is the gold is the another one economical parameter. Yeah, in the same way sulfuric acid also. Okay. Now, hydrides, I will discuss from hydrides. So, what is hydrides? It is the compounds of hydrogen, compounds of hydrogen. Okay. Now, in the periodic table, there are the elements are having different properties, that is group 1 and 2. They are generally the electropositive element, and in between these, that is the d block element, that is transition element, transition elements, and out of this, after the transition element, there is group 13 to 17, sorry 18, sorry 17, group 13 to 17. Okay. So, group 1 and 2, these are electropositive element, and the hydrides that is called, it is saline hydride, or saline hydride. Okay. Next, these element, this is interstitial hydrides or transition a metal hydride, and group 13 to 17, these are non-metallic hydrides, and this is called covalent hydride or molecular hydride. This is called covalent hydride. This is saline or ionic hydride, and this is the transition metal hydride, Clear? So, three types of hydride are formed, that is the compounds of hydrogen. Group 1 and 2 generally form the saline or salt like hydride or ionic hydride. Transition element form transition metal hydride. Group 13 to 17 form covalent hydride. They are formed by the covalent bond formation. Okay. Now, first one, that is saline hydride or salt like hydride. Now, why this is called saline or salt like hydride? Because when we electrolyze it, that is, suppose one example I have taken, that is sodium hydride. Now, sodium is the electropositive, it is from group 1, and when it is electrolyzed, it produces Na plus H minus, because sodium is more electropositive than hydrogen. So, hydrogen, as it is anion, goes towards the anode and releasing electron, it will produce hydrogen gas. So, as it is dissociated into two different parts, that is one cationic part, one anionic part, so that it is ionic in nature. For this reason, it is ionic hydride or salt like hydride or saline hydride. Okay. Now, it is stoichiometry. Okay. What is the stoichiometry? That means NaH, here the number of atom is equal to 1 and 1. It is also stoichiometric. This is, that is group, the covalent hydride, it is also stoichiometric. That means, suppose CH4, here the atoms are joined is in full number, that is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, not it is the fraction. But in transition element there is an exception to that, this is called, okay. Now this is about ionic hydride. This is ionic hydride and it is stoichiometric ratio is maintained here. Next one is covalent hydride. Covalent hydride, you may be asked that write a short note on the hydrides, write a short note on hydrides, then you have to mention all of these. Now covalent hydride, that is group 13 to group 17. Okay. Now generally the carbon with hydrogen, nitrogen, these are forms hydrogen compound, that is hydride. Carbon forms CH4, silicon, carbon, nitrogen form NH3, PH3, oxygen form H2O, H2S, H2S, this is from group 16, group 17, that is HCl, HBr, etc. Now all of these are formed by covalent bond formation. What is covalent bond? That is the sharing of electron. If we follow the electronic configuration, of hydrogen and also the chlorine, then you can see that if both the species donate one electron pair in common, making a bond pair, then there would be a covalent bond and the octet will be fulfilled. Okay. So for this reason these are called covalent hydride, that is as it is formed by covalent bond formation. So CH4, that is group 14, 15, group 16 and also group 17. Also BH3 is there, group 13, BH3, BH2, these are also examples of covalent hydride. Now I hope now you have gained the common knowledge about the hydrides. Okay. Now next one is the transition element hydride or the metallic hydrides. So here we have to know one concept, that in the metallic bonding there is the interstitial space is there, in between the metal there is the interstitial space is there, and as hydrogen size, that is the atomic size of hydrogen is very small, so it can be captured or it can be take place in the interstitial space which is shown in the structure of metal. So as the interstitial space is occupied by the hydrogen and it is non-stoichiometric. What is non-stoichiometric? That is for why I am writing some example. Cesium hydrogen 2.8, cesium hydrogen 2.8. So why 2.8? We know that the atom is non-divisible, but it is an average, One example may be of that titanium hydrogen, that is 1.7. So these are in average, that means as the total volume is, the total size or the total volume is calculated, and then hydrogen, what is the number of hydrogen atom that is occlude on the cavity or on the interstitial space is also calculated, and then divided by the total number, then we get this fraction. Okay. So as the fraction, that is interstitial space, is very negligible, so here the small atoms like the hydrogen can be entered in this interstitial space, and these are the examples of that: cesium, titanium, nickel, palladium. Okay, these are also forms such type of hydrides. Nickel, cobalt, these are from cesium, titanium, nickel, cobalt, these are from interstitial hydrides. Okay. So, hydrides mainly classified into three parts. One is ionic, covalent and the metallic or interstitial. Now, the covalent hydride is further subdivided into three parts. Okay. One is electron deficient, electron rich and electron, that is precise electronic species. So, first of all, electron deficient, that is group 13. Okay. You cannot see this part. That group 13, that is hydrides of boron BH3, it is electron deficient. Okay. Now, electron rich, that is NH3, that is group 15. Group 15 forms the species, the hydrides is of electron rich, and electron precise, that is group 14. The examples are the olefin or the hydrocarbon, that is C2H2, C2H4. These are example of C2H2, C2H4. These are all examples of precise electronic species. Okay. So, this is all about the chart of the hydrides. Okay. So, ionic, it is formed by group 1 and 2, it is from group 13 to 17. And metallic hydride, these are interstitial hydride, and the it is non-stoichiometric, and these two ionic and covalent hydride are stoichiometric. That means the atoms joined to make the compounds are full in number, not by fraction, and in non-stoichiometric it is by fraction. Clear? Is it clear? Answer in the chat box, is it clear or not? You may also write it. Okay, so I am rubbing this. Next, I will move to the compounds of hydrogen. Compounds of hydrogen. Now, what are the compounds of hydrogen? One is water and hydrogen peroxide. We have to know about this, that is the properties of hydrogen and water and hydrogen peroxide. There are more compounds of hydrogen, that is H2S, which is also very important, okay, but in your syllabus it is only the water and hydrogen peroxide. Now, water having the formula, that is H2O. Now, what is hydrogen bonding? Because we have to know it, what is hydrogen bonding. Now, when hydrogen is connected with the electronegative element. What are the electronegative elements? That means chlorine, fluorine, oxygen, etc. When hydrogen is connected with such electronegative elements, then for example HCl, what happened? It is a covalent compound, but the electronic charge, that is the bonded electrons, is somehow nearer to the chlorine because of its electronegativity. In the same way, in HF, it is bonding electron pair is more closer to the fluorine than that of the chlorine. In H2O, here also the bonding electron pair is closer to the oxygen atom. So, when hydrogen is connected with these electronegative elements, then as the polarity is gained in the molecule, and this polarity ultimately takes a bond formation, which is called hydrogen bonding. So, what is hydrogen bonding? That means when hydrogen is connected with more electronegative elements and there is a bond formation in between the interatomic or intermolecular space, and this is called hydrogen bonding. Now, hydrogen bonding is very active in water, and for this reason H2O you can find it in liquid form. So, just take the example of H2O, how hydrogen bonding works here. Now, I am drawing some molecular structure of H2O. Okay. Now, this is electronegative in nature, because it is 2 delta negative charge and this is delta positive, delta positive. Just the delta means here as the polarity is gained, the polarity ultimately takes to the 2 poles, and here the polarity is there. It is also delta negative charge, 2 delta negative, this is delta positive, it is delta positive. Now, as this polarity is there, then what happens? The molecular structure becomes like that. This hydrogen will ultimately moves towards the more electronegative element. Okay. As there is hydrogen, this hydrogen atom will moves ultimately to the element. So, in this way a bond formation or a attractive force is there. So, this attractive force is called the hydrogen bonding, which is active in the solution phase. Here in the solution, because liquid in the H2O is in the liquid form. So, hydrogen bonding is the active in water system. Now, coming to the structure of H2O. For the determination of the structure, we have to take the concept of from the valence bond theory. Here the oxygen hybridization is sp3, because two lone electron pair is there. It will be discussed on the chemical bonding. You have already completed it. Okay. Now, the oxygen having 2s2, 2p4, 2s2, 2p4, and these two hydrogen making bond, these two lone electron pair will be there in the bond formation, and the hybridization is sp3. Okay. So, it is the H2O. What is the interatomic distance? The bond angle of HOH is equal to 104.5 degree. It is equal to 104.5 degree. But as the sp3, the correct bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. Okay. It should be the actual bond angle. The actual bond angle for sp3, actual bond angle which is observed in CH4, the actual bond angle for sp3 hybridization, it is 109 degree 28 minutes. Okay. But you can see that here is a deviation from the bond angle. Why this deviation? Can you see me? Can you tell me about that? What is the rules applicable here? The very important rule is there. Can you tell me about the rules? No. This is VSEPR, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Now, as there is two lone electron pair is there, and it will repel each another, forming the bond angle to a shorter degree. So, as the lone pair repulsion is maximum than that of the lone pair bond pair, it is active here. So, here lone pair repulsion is maximum than lone pair bond pair. Okay, as there is two lone pair, so it will repel the bond angle to a lesser degree, forming 104 degree 5 minutes. Here due to the, we can explain it by using VSEPR theory. So, it is tetrahedral. From the hybridization we can call it as it a tetrahedral. Next one, that is hydrogen bonding in ice and water. Hydrogen bonding. Now, in ice it can floats on water, because I know we know it is due to the less density of ice than that of the water. But why it is the less dense than water? Because when the cage like structure is formed, that is when a cage like structure is formed in the ice structure, it forms the hydrogen bonding and with the neighboring H2O molecule. This leads to the cage like structure. Okay. Now, what is these cage like structures? Now, this is connected with HO, HO. In this way it is connected. Now, this oxygen is again connected with this hydrogen, again connected with one oxygen, and this is H, this is H, this hydrogen again connected with an oxygen, H. In this way a cage like structure is formed. Okay. So, for this cage like structure it is floats on the water, because the surface area becomes more. Okay. But when we heat the ice, then the hydrogen bonding is dissolved. That means the hydrogen bonding is to somehow it is neglected or it is dilated. So, for this reason, as the hydrogen bonding becomes, so in the same space or in the same volume, more water molecule will be gathered or more water molecule will be there. So, as the hydrogen bond become broken, so the condensation of the water molecule will be there in the same space, and for this reason the density will be higher. So, for the cage like structure, the molecules or the water molecules are spread, that is the surface area will be large in the ice, but in case of water the surface area becomes low, and it is due to the less hydrogen bonding. Okay. So, for this reason that ice floats on water, but in the water it is the more dense. Now, water having a maximum density at 4 degree centigrade. Now, at 0 degree centigrade, what happens? At 0 degree centigrade, it is the coexistence of water plus ice. Now, when we increasing a temperature, that is 1 degree to 2 degree to 3 degree to ultimately 4 degree, then what is there? What is the changes in there? That is, first of all, the hydrogen bonding is dilated, hydrogen bonding dilated or broken. It is increases, hydrogen bonding is increases as the temperature is increases, and also plus kinetic energy. So, it is observed that only the 4 degree temperature, that is up to from 1 degree, from 0 degree to 4 degree, it is not too much extent in the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy is not so higher that it can be overcome the hydrogen bonding, the number of molecules which is gathered by the hydrogen molecule, because the kinetic energy can repel the molecule, and we know that the kinetic energy for gaseous will be higher, as the kinetic energy can make the distance in between the molecule, but hydrogen bonding can gather the molecule. Okay. So, as the hydrogen bonding up to this temperature range, it is prominent and the kinetic energy is neglected here, and for this reason the 4 degree temperature is that temperature when the density of the water molecules is highest. Okay. So, today up to this only. On the next day I will start from the properties of water. Have you understood? Any problem? So, from today what is the hydrogen bonding, why ice floats on water, and what is the maximum density at 0 degree centigrade, and the short note on hydride. If the short note on hydride, then it should be a 3 marks question. In there you should have to define it, you have to give the examples and also some characteristics of that. No problem? Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone, bye.